A long time ago, in a beautiful land filled with hills and valleys, there lived a man named Saul. Saul was tall and strong. He came from the tribe of Benjamin, and he was known for his kind heart and bravery. Many people said he was the tallest man in all the land. But what made Saul special wasn't just how he looked. It was that God had chosen him to be Israel's very first king. Perched on a branch nearby was a little dove named Nessa. She loved watching the people of Israel as they worked in their fields and cared for their animals. "Something wonderful is happening," Nessa cooed. At her side, Ravi the rabbit twitched his nose and smiled. "Is it true?" he asked. "Will Israel have a king at last?" Nessa nodded. "Yes, and his name is Saul." Before Saul became king, Israel had no king at all. They were led by judges and prophets like Samuel. Samuel listened to God and helped the people, but the people wanted to be like other nations. "We want a king to lead us," they cried. God told Samuel to listen to them, and so Samuel anointed Saul with oil and told him, "You will be the first king of Israel." When Saul first became king, he was shy and humble. He didn't think he was important enough to lead so many people. "Why me?" Saul asked quietly. But Samuel smiled and said, "Because God chose you." Nessa the dove flapped her wings excitedly. "Look, Ravi, Saul is being crowned king." Ravi wiggled his ears and said, "I hope he is a good king." At first, King Saul did many wonderful things. He led Israel's army to protect the people from their enemies. He was brave in battle and kind to those who followed him. One day, the Philistines, a mighty army, came to fight against Israel. The people were very afraid, but Saul trusted God and gathered his men. "Do not be afraid," Saul said. "God is with us." And with courage, Saul led his army to victory. Nessa flew high above the battlefield and cheered, "Saul is a strong and brave king." And Ravi whispered, "God help them win." King Saul also built a strong army to keep the land safe. He called for brave men from all the tribes of Israel to be his soldiers. They carried shiny shields and strong spears, and they trusted Saul to lead them. But as time went on, something began to change in Saul's heart. At first, he listened carefully to Samuel and followed God's instructions. But soon, Saul started to think he could make his own decisions without waiting for God's help. One day, Saul grew impatient, waiting for Samuel to offer a special sacrifice to God before a battle. "I'll do it myself," Saul decided. But that was not Saul's job. Samuel arrived and said, "You did not obey God's command." Nessa shook her head sadly. "Oh dear," she whispered. Ravi sighed. "It's important to wait and trust God," he said. God wanted Saul to be faithful, but Saul didn't always listen. Another time, Saul was told to destroy everything after winning a battle. But instead, he kept some things for himself. When Samuel arrived, he asked, "Why did you not obey God?" Saul tried to explain, But Samuel shook his head. "Obedience is better than sacrifice," Samuel said softly. And Nessa cooed quietly. Saul forgot to follow God's way. Ravi nodded. "Even kings need to listen," he said. Because Saul didn't obey, God told Samuel to choose a new king. His name was David, a young shepherd boy, but Saul was still king for a long time. Sometimes Saul felt worried and sad. His heart was troubled because he knew he had not always done what was right. But even though Saul made mistakes, God still cared about him and his people. One day, Saul met young David, who played beautiful music on his harp. "When David plays," Saul said, "I feel better." David's music brought peace to Saul's heart, even when he felt upset. Nessa sat on the windowsill as David played softly. "Music makes hearts feel lighter," she cooed. Ravi smiled. "And kindness makes the world a little brighter," he added. As Saul grew older, there were many battles. He tried hard to be strong and lead his people. But Saul struggled, and sometimes he was afraid. God's plan was now with David, who would be the next king of Israel. But Saul's story reminds us that being a leader means listening to God and following his ways. Even though Saul had troubles, God never stopped loving his people. And Samuel, David, and others helped guide Israel forward. Nessa fluttered gently to a branch and looked over the hills of Israel. "God is always watching over his people," she said. And Ravi nodded. "Yes," he said, "and he always keeps his promises." And so, under the peaceful stars of Israel, King Saul's story came to an end. But God's love and plans for his people continued, bringing hope and new beginnings. The end.